Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Road City Sports Talk. I'm your host, Bryce Trost, sitting next to my dude, Anwar Jones.
What's good, world?
Another
PDX.
week. That's right. As always, we're joined by our guy, Jacob Hummel, on the audio end, and our dude, Monte Love, keeping
Hammer
us looking
Jake.
pretty.
I'm here.
Hammer Jake. If this is your first time checking out RCST, we want to thank you for your time. The idea is to provide a diverse local sports talk show that shows love to not only local and national sports headlines, but we're also praising local breweries, local musicians, and each episode is scored by a local producer. So definitely check it out. We're not approaching this from just a sports aspect.
It's everything, man.
It's all around.
PDX, we got a lot of culture here, man. We just trying to shed light on all that.
Shedding love on all of the art.
It's all love here, baby.
So speaking of the art, tonight's episode is scored by Southeast Portland producer Trey 5, and you can check him out at rosecitysportstalk.com as well as on SoundCloud. You can search that out. That's TRE-5.
Trey Day.
Trey Day.
Yeah, that's my man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Simon Atlas Rima.
Shout
Little
it.
homie. New baby boy. Gotta give him love.
This week we're enjoying hydrations from Local Brewers 10 Barrel out of Bend, Oregon, and you can actually check them out now here in Northwest Portland, where they have also set up shop. And we're also showing a little love to Hopworks. I think Anwar is enjoying. What was that? The Abominable
That's
Winter
like
Ale.
perfect timing right there, because
Yeah.
that's the Abominable Winter Ale.
You enjoying that?
Oh, I'm loving it.
What am I thinking on? I got the I got the 10 Barrel Pale Ale, which I'm always a fan of. And Jake's pretty much dead set every week. He's rocking that 10 Barrel IPA. He's all for it.
Apocalypse just gets me every time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Make it do though.
I like
Make it
it.
do.
What you think about this Proxima?
It's all right.
All right.
Proxima, that's a Hop Valley Brewing out of
Yeah.
Eugene, Oregon. You can check them out at hopvalleybrewing.com. And as for the other brewers, that's 10barrel.com and hopworksbeer.com. Again, all local brewers. Show them love.
Another dope cover. I like dope labels like this.
It sells it for you, huh?
It does.
Every time,
Easy
every
to
time.
please.
All right, there's plenty to talk about. It was a crazy weekend, but we should probably start talking NCAA playoffs.
Let's go.
Too many big games that wrapped it up.
Where
and
are we starting, please?
where are we starting? Should we go 1 through 4? 1 through 4 with the obvious number one
Let's go. Yeah.
remains Bama.
Bama looked good.
Bama did look good. They came out on the SEC championship. I think there was a few people that really hoped to see that crazy upset where there was a chance you weren't going to see an SEC team in the playoff. But I think everyone at home knew
Nah,
this was
not
a wrap.
Not against Missouri.
Not was it?
You weren't worried about
Was
that.
it never 16 or 11? Either way, they were in the top 25. But it doesn't matter. You're not an SEC
the
West
one,
team.
That's the one bad thing about the SEC is that the fact that they have it's either Missouri or Georgia going to the SEC final every time. Like, let's have LSU in the final or Auburn in the final. Like, change that conference up a little
went to
bit.
the championship last year. What are you talking about?
I know, but I'd rather have like Auburn, Alabama in the SEC championship game.
Oh,
or
well,
That's not
LSU
gonna happen.
and
same division.
Yeah,
I know, like
the
switch
West
it up
is-
a little bit.
the-
I'm just saying the East is so whack. That's basically
it is, and
that's
unfortunately,
boils down to it.
it's always fun because it's college football. You're gonna walk into it thinking, hey, anybody's gonna win this game. It could be anyone's game, but it's Alabama.
It's Bama.
It's Bama.
It's roll tide.
And let's be honest, Cooper put up another.
That was
average.
a-
It was average.
It was enough.
pedestrian
It was
night.
enough. It was enough.
I
But-
think,
and
I think
they-
he had 12 receptions.
And Sims
83
obviously
yards.
didn't have a pretty game,
Sims
but it
had-
was
that was
enough.
pretty
Again,
23
it
or
was enough.
27 from the field. He's efficient. Two
Yeah.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
262 and 2 touchdowns.
Can you
He
see?
never-
I'm just
he-
trying to take away from anyone that had any type of Heisman hope. I'm just trying to slowly knock it while the obvious.
I think
We'll get to that.
I think
We'll get to that. So speaking of number 2, the Ducks, I believe we probably should stick right at number 2 because I like where this is going to lead us.
can chill for a
the
little bit.
Pac-12 championship game was actually a lot of fun to watch. We saw basically,
if you a Duck fan.
yeah, if you're a Duck fan, it was a lot of fun to watch. And not just that. I mean,
I kind of rushed in
nation-
traffic to see that game.
Yeah?
And then all of a sudden it's a blowout. I was kind of disappointed, but it was
you were disappointed.
just disappointed that it wasn't a good game.
That was-
They put it on them.
That was
boys,
one
so,
game
like,
where the
that was-
Oregon Ducks defense showed up in a big way.
They
Yeah.
did.
That was the best game I've seen them play.
It was a lot of fun.
In a
man.
long
Both
time.
sides of the ball
Yeah.
was a lot of fun. I've got a couple of different
Great.
friends that made the trip down there, and they definitely enjoyed themselves down at Levi Stadium.
They had some explosive plays in that game too.
They
Their
did.
wide receivers were
They did.
fast on that
So
field.
we're going to talk. Obviously, we locked up the spot for number 2. Number 3 was the given
Was it the given?
It was the given. Here's the thing. Georgia Tech put up a great fight. No one saw that running game coming. No one saw that Florida State was going to be that busted on the ground, stopping the ground.
No, but everybody thought that Florida State was going to lose that game.
Yeah, that's what Georgia Tech does. But honestly, did you really think Florida State was going to allow that much offense on the ground? That was crazy.
It's one of the best offenses in the league.
Agreed.
They can run on you all day. It's just bang, bang.
Yeah, but when it came down to it, the reason why they didn't win is because they couldn't throw the ball.
Devil's advocate, though, again, Florida State
throw the ball a tiny bit, they would have won that game.
But in that game too, like Georgia Tech came out,
too late.
But they came out really fast and they put it on Florida State at the beginning. And they had control of the game, but every time Winston came down, got him a score, got him another touchdown, kept them in striking distance, and then they took over the game. And then the lack of big plays that Georgia Tech can make because they can't throw down the field, it ended up biting them at the end because they had to stay in front of Florida State the whole time. He was a great game. He was efficient. He wasn't playing any games on that one.
Exactly. You saw how efficient he was in the first half. That's why I knew it didn't matter if it was close. In fact, because it was so close, you knew they were going to walk away with it in the second half.
Guard O'Leary. That's his favorite target.
Yeah. And it's crazy. They even called him out. I mean, he's to a point where he was reading some of his passes, even if it's kitty corner through his peripheral. I mean, you gotta watch that man. You gotta watch that man.
Winston's a smart quarterback, though. He has a high football IQ. He knows where to go with the ball.
Just not so much off the field.
Off the field
is touchdown passes were just blown coverages.
Yeah.
Two of them were wide open.
The O'Leary one was definitely
the O'Leary one. The corner just stopped.
Yeah.
And didn't follow.
No, he didn't stop.
It looked like he ate it
because he ran a wheel route on that one. And
that was a Rudolph.
He just completely burned him. That was a tight end one you're talking about.
Yeah.
That was Leary. I'm pretty sure that was Leary because it was back-to-back passes that he hit him with, and so he hit him with a sick wheel route. So he just sat there in zone coverage, didn't follow him. Next thing you know, he's sitting there wide open, walking in for a touchdown. But Winston looked impressive.
He did.
Florida State looked impressive. And
they look like they deserve to be there.
Oh, that's the first time I've heard.
I know.
You're the first person
tough to say it,
in Portland that I've heard say this.
This week, after that win,
let's get to the fourth team, and then we can circle back.
Anwar's all antsy in the pantsy because he gets to announce who number 4 is. Who is number 4?
I see all that money through my Ohio State Buckeyes.
Okay.
I see him, baby.
Sneaking in on the number 4 position.
59-0.
Is that what provided the jump over TCU and Baylor?
My man Jason Wick isn't happy.
Is that what provided the jump? The goose egg, the 59-0.
Of course, it was a beatdown. Like after you saw that happen, there was no way Ohio State wasn't going. Cardale Jones, great last name, comes in and looks like a star from the get-go. Like he's been there the whole season. And the funny thing about it is he was
acclimated
prepped,
well.
But he was prepped all summer long to be the man because Braxton Miller was hurt. And then JT Barrett ended up being in Cardale Jones out after Braxton Miller got hurt. But Cardale Jones was in the spring practices, so they had a feel for what he needed to do, and he came out there and showed it in front of the world. 59-0.
59-0.
Melvin Gordon got held down to like under 100 yards. Shout out to Elliott, 220 yards?
20 yards.
Yeah.
220.
And Devin Smith, 3 touchdowns, 149 yards.
So the field is set.
Let's go, Buckeyes.
1 Alabama, 2 Ducks, 3 FSU, and 4 Ohio State. So the playoffs. Playoffs. We're looking at New Year's Day. We're going to see Alabama go against your Buckeyes.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right. So
I'm asking.
Look at it. And now the confidence just slowly.
We got them, Buckeyes.
So what's that game looking like? Is that a game at all?
It is a game.
No, be honest. Is that a game at all?
I've been impressed with what Ohio State has done this year. Like they stuck through it. Had a bad even with the injuries. Cardale Jones looks like he has a cannon. Did you see that cannon of an arm? Like that was crazy. First couple of plays, he's down the field, 50 yards. Let's go. So, I mean, he has one of the strongest arms we've seen. So, you don't have a lot of tape on Cardale Jones. You don't really know how to prepare for him. So, you're going to have that he's gonna sneak up on you. So
Definitely.
we're gonna see what Saban can put on him. Saban is
offense. I see a lot of offense in that game.
Yeah.
We can match up with them
But I see
physically.
a lot of offense in this play.
You're not going to see an Iron Bowl, though. That was nuts. You're not going to see an Iron Bowl in terms of a shootout with points.
Well, Ohio State. I mean, to be real, Ohio State's defense isn't that great. They've given up a lot. They've given up a lot of points.
Alabama,
and they've kept a lot of games close. So and you can't play with Bama.
Alabama's going to roll.
Yeah.
Alabama's going to roll.
It's Buckeyes all day.
I think it'll be a good game.
Because I want to see the Buckeyes, so I can be public enemy number 1 in PDX. Because anybody I see,
Okay, now this could
I'm
turn
wearing
into
my
public enemy
Buckeyes.
number 1 in PDX. What does the second semifinal game look like where you see the Oregon Ducks go against the Florida State Seminoles?
And that's to me, that's public enemy number 1 for Portland. Because everywhere I go, I see people hating on Florida State, and I'm not taking up on Florida State, but nobody thinks that these guys can win, or they should be in the playoffs. So everybody's saying, "Oh, they had a weak schedule."
I don't think they can't win.
When Florida State had a stronger strength of schedule than TCU and Baylor. They were number 36 for their strength of schedule.
But
They
again,
beat
it's the ACC. You
Against
know this
ACC,
wouldn't be
but
a
they also beat
conversation
a
if there
Northern
was a
team.
Big 12
They beat a
championship game. You
they
know
beat
there
a
wouldn't be a
Northern-
conversation right now. We wouldn't be having this conversation if there was a Big 12 championship game, correct?
No, not if they're
come
undefeated.
on.
They're
No, they
undefeated.
would have still got in.
They have a 29-game winning streak.
Ohio State might not be getting in.
That's what I'm talking about.
29
Ohio State. That's what I'm
game
talking
winning
about. Florida State. That was a given. Yeah.
Florida State,
I'm talking about
it was a
Ohio
given.
State.
I just think it's funny that Florida and Oregon. Florida State and Oregon. You guys are gonna really get a chance.
I'd have it no
It's
other
gonna-
way. I'd have it no other way. I feel
There's-
like
there's
all the
there's a lot of Florida State hate.
Yeah, of course.
going
but come
on
all the
in this
critics,
city. It's-
the last few years and all the drama. This is it. I mean,
So you
this
guys
is,
get what
this
you
is a
want.
shit or get off the pot moment for the Ducks
Yeah.
and our fan base.
About time.
You are going to have to walk through
The hardest way.
the two boys,
Yeah.
the two big boys, right there.
Let's
You're gonna
go.
have to go through Florida State
Take 'em out.
first.
I see you getting hyped.
That's the way
Hammer
I want
Jake's
to
getting
go.
hyped.
That's the way I want to go.
And then
I want to beat
the
Florida
matchup
State,
everyone
I wanna
wants to
beat
see:
Alabama.
Bama and Oregon for a national championship.
Not every, but not this.
No,
not the guy
that's
over
what everyone
here.
wants to
Yeah, you're
see.
not-
I don't want to see that. I'm trying to see my Buckeyes.
Oh,
So let's go. Yeah, we are biased here on Rose City Sports Talk. We let it be known.
We
who
give
our
them the
teams are.
warnings. Before we transition out of NCAA, let's talk Heisman finalists because
Can we pour out a little liquor for
Who
our little
we
liquor
got?
for
Who we
the
got?
Big 12?
Yeah, definitely.
Can
We're gonna start a new segment, giving a cheers to the pros and pouring out a little liquor to the cons. So this week we pouring out a little liquor for the Big 12. Let's hear it.
We'll pour out some water for Mike Riley, but I digress. But check it out.
What are you doing, Nebraska?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
Wow.
For real.
But the Big 12, like, you guys dropped the ball. The commissioner dropped the ball. Basically, when you got head-to-head competition that's supposed to determine a tiebreaker. You're going to come out and say there's a co-champions. And that just killed your argument because they wanted to play both sides of it because TCU was ranked number 3. And then in the poll, just earlier this week, it was number 3. They jumped Florida State for whatever reason. And then next week, they're gone. They're out. They're number 6. And that's because you didn't want to say there was a champion in your conference.
Yep.
You didn't want to have a Big 12 championship. And then you can't even declare a championship in your own conference. Therefore, you do not deserve to be in the playoffs. If it's not,
I agree.
If you're not going to determine the eye test
You're
says
dealing
that
with
TCU
Texas
is
football
better.
and a large majority of that Big 12 crowd, and they are not having it. But at the same time, if you do not have a championship game, but yet all these other conferences do,
And then head-to-head matchup can't decide that.
and then you want to complain that you're not getting the props you deserve and that you're not in the playoff picture when every other major conference is holding a championship game. I mean, come on.
Big
What do you-
12 kick rocks. That's what you do.
Okay, let's talk the three Heisman finalists. The obvious: Oregon quarterback Marcus Mariota, Alabama receiver Amari Cooper, and Wisconsin running back Melvin Gordon. Is that the only list?
What
That's
about
the
Jake?
three.
That's the three.
JT
Those
Barrett
are the
didn't get an
finalists.
invite.
That's the 3 finals.
I'm just saying, 45 touchdowns, Big Ten record.
JT Barrett is coming in at number 5. Boykin is coming in at number 4.
Yeah, you gotta give love to Boykins.
Agreed.
He's legit.
Agreed. I mean,
he's done his thing.
That's about all you need to know.
But again, Gordon and Cooper both deserve to be there, and Mariota's pretty obvious.
And Gordon lost it when he couldn't even rush against 100 yards. I mean, it's easy to see why.
Yeah,
because of those Buckeyes.
That was his
That's the defense.
Yeah, so he lost it right there. Mariota, you put up a big time effort against Arizona.
Out of the 10 analysts on ESPN, all 10 voted for Mariota. So he's probably a shoe-in. I think.
Hey, don't say shoe-in.
Shoe-in
let's just
for Heisman of the Year.
I don't know if it could be any clearer than this, but you guys can all cross your fingers if you need to.
I mean, he has a support. He has a support from everybody.
It's cut and dry, pretty much.
Yeah. And nobody really stood out that much. Other than
I mean, you had Dak Prescott at the beginning of the year, but as a downfall,
he lost
Mississippi State win.
That Bama
Bo
game,
Wallace, and the same thing happened to him. Amari has been pretty constant. Melvin Gordon came on strong near the end of the year.
Winston lost it when he stole some shrimp.
Really, you think he lost it when he stole some shrimp and not about all the other?
Of course he lost.
Garbage off-field altercations. Not the How many picks does this dude have on there? Like 17?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something ridiculous.
Mariota's still sitting there at
2.
All he does is win. Though.
2. All he does is win. He does win. Okay, speaking of a winner, let's transition out of NCAA. Speaking of a winner, let's talk. Sorry, because to me this dude drives me crazy, but I gotta respect the hell out of his skill. Let's talk boxing for a second, because earlier this week,
when are you talking about?
I'm talking Mayweather Pacquiao.
Okay.
So it's been quiet, obviously, for a while.
It has.
You've got Mayweather wrapping up his 6-fight deal with Showtime. He's like 4 fights in right now, doing just fine, getting paid healthy, getting paid very healthy.
Yeah.
So
don't count his pockets out.
Here it is, the news for the week. I'm looking at it. Mayweather is open to the Pacquiao fight. One catch. He wants 2/3 of them dollars. 2/3. 2/3. Is that?
I'm just hearing this information right now, so it's kind of annoying, and it kind of makes me feel like go back in time when it was Roy Jones Jr. and Bernard Hopkins, and he was like 60-40, I'll whoop your ass, it was back and forth. He kept on saying 60-40, 60-40, and you know what? That fight never happened. And it happened, but it happened when they were past their prime. So we've been waiting for 6, 7, 8 years?
Yep.
How long has it been since we've been waiting for this fight?
About
forever.
8 years.
It feels like forever. So I don't want to hear anything about money. 60-40, 2/3, 50-50. Let's get this first one out of the way, and we'll go from there.
So here's my big argument.
Mayweather can't retire if he doesn't fight Pacquiao.
That's it. Mentally, not fiscally.
Legacy-wise,
let's talk about fiscally.
You can't rest your head.
Mayweather pulled in $102 million.
It ain't about the money.
On his own.
Forget the money at this time. That man's made. I'm not counting his pockets, but he's made some dough in his day.
In his day, he's made over $420 million.
His legacy, his career, his sleeping good at night. He won't be able to do that if he doesn't fight Pacquiao.
If that fight never happens, it'll be a shame.
Yeah, because that was your main obstacle.
So exactly, he needs to fight Pacquiao.
He needs to have his
Pacquiao needs to fight him.
His Leonard Hagler, his Hagler Hearns.
Anwar, how much do you think that fight would purse? Just throw it out there. Because I got a rough number from what I've been reading.
Close.
Yeah, I got a rough number.
What? 2, 3, 4, $400
million purse.
That's probably
Pacquiao's asking.
And that's just
for
purse.
2/3.
Vegas is gonna shut down.
Oh yeah.
Pacquiao, Mayweather.
The books are gonna be nuts.
We've been waiting.
The books are gonna be crazy.
We're not even patient.
And you already know Mayweather's gonna be putting some money.
And that's probably not even
pay-per-view
numbers.
It's gonna.
You add all that on too. That's ridiculous.
You can end world hunger and everything. This fight, make it happen for the people. Come on.
Mayweather ain't about to do
once that goes down, that'll be either the last fight or there'll be one rematch.
No, that sets it up. You have 2 more fights. You beat him on the first time.
He's got other
and then
couple
you
on the
end
line
your
here,
career.
so we'll see what happens.
Those two. And
I mean, I want him to fight Amir Khan earlier.
Yeah.
With the Madonna, but he fought Madonna on the rematch, and I didn't want that rematch. Was terrible. That was like a waste of a fight because he figured Madonna out in the 6th round of the first fight. So after that happened,
it's pretty much
Madonna,
written. You think?
it was written like Nas.
Okay. So let's say what is that? Golden Boy decides to not Golden Boy. That's wrong boxing.
Man, forget all those stupid
Mayweather
promotions and make the fights happen.
Let's say they lock it in. Let's say Pac's camp actually is like, you know what? Let's do it.
It's Bob Arum that's been holding up the fight the whole time because that was Floyd Mayweather's former client. Yeah. They have beef, and you've been passing like Timothy Bradley, everything like that, like all these fights that we don't care about just because it helps Bob Arum's
Showtime cares.
pockets.
They made a lot of money on that.
Just make this fight happen. I'm sick of it.
Okay,
so don't mention
promotion companies. I'm asking. Okay, no promotion companies, no money.
Get me riled up.
So who wins it? Who wins it?
Mayweather's gonna box circles around that dude.
He's way too smart for Pacquiao.
The only thing I want to see is Mayweather. Like I do want to see Mayweather get hit consistently and see how he responds to
you
it.
ain't seen that
because Pacquiao is the one dude. His hand speed can match Mayweather, and he can also put it on with as far as power.
So there's the question.
Somehow his power is translated to 106 to 147.
What weight are they gonna fight at?
Wherever they fight at. Pacquiao's the only fighter that's ever done that in the history of boxing. That's why Mayweather's been kind of won all the tests and everything like that because we don't know. But that's another conversation. But
is it?
Do you
think that conversation is going to come back up?
His power travels, of course. But at this time, let's just make the fight happen.
Is Floyd Mayweather the most technical fighter of all time?
Defensive fighter.
Yeah, defensive. Technical.
Yeah, I think so. He's a magician and he's amazing. He's amazing.
He's outstanding.
Like when he does that little lean and everything, like you can't touch him. Like
he's dancing.
He's only like the funny thing is about
I like
Mayweather,
his toy. I like his toy when he just sets it out.
You can't hit. We can think of the times that Mayweather's gotten hit, like when Mosley shook him. When he just got shook in the last fight, he got snuck. They snuck Madonna stuck a punch in at the end of the round. And he got a little wobbly. There's not too many times that people get flush punches on Mayweather. Kasazu back in the day got him a little bit, but that was when his hand was broken. But I mean, that's amazing for a fighter to fight this long.
What is boxing gonna do without those two now?
Boxing needed them to save. They needed him to save the game and make this thing relevant because boxing is dying sport.
That's why it needs to happen.
UFC, I mean, UFC is popular, especially in this city. Everybody loves UFC down here, so. The fact that you got to keep boxing relevant, and that's the one fight that's going to keep it relevant. So let's make it happen.
Agreed.
It's like a D'Angelo album or a Dr. Dre album. Like, can you guys just drop it? Like, we'll like to hear it, to see it.
As a fan of sports, how bad would it be to say that you know Mayweather's gonna if it happens, if the fight happens, Mayweather's gonna do work. It's pretty much written in the cards. But as a fan of sports, you still want to see Pacquiao do some work. You do.
I don't want to see.
You do want not. Yeah, exactly. Everyone has waited. What did we just say? Years for this. Years.
Me, I want to be like in the barbershop, like in Coming to America, and they be like,
that boy good.
Like, that boy good. That boy real good. And then Rocky Marciano never lost. Like,
Cassius Clay. Yeah. Oh, Cassius Clay.
Can I say that about Mayweather? Like, yeah, he was undefeated. Mama name him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. That's what we got. That's what we got to be on. So I mean, Mayweather, you can do that for us. You just got to beat Pacquiao because we can't talk about you in the barbershop if you don't beat Pacquiao.
Yep.
You got to fight the best. Everybody fights the best.
Man, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the music tonight. Again, another shout out to our dude Trey 5, who you can check out at RoseCitySportsTalk.com as well as on SoundCloud. He is providing tonight's score. If you hold any interest in providing a score for one of our episodes, definitely hit us up. You can check us out again at RoseCitySportsTalk.com on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're all over the place, and we'd love to hear your sounds.
And your clothes, we like your t-shirts, we like your hats. Goon Brothers, what's up?
I enjoy beer.
Goon Brothers.
Yeah. We know you like the swag.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Hammer is all about the booze. He's all about the
Hammer
beer.
Jake.
Hammer Jake. Get that shirt made.
Y'all see these new shoes I got.
All right, well, let's talk NBA. NBA, there's plenty of things going on, but at the same time, it seems like it's been a quiet week because of all of the college hype and hoopla. But meanwhile, things trudge along. You got the Cavs sitting at a 7-game win streak, slowly turning things around. You've got Washington doing all right. And on the West, you've seen the Warriors stick around along with Memphis. But I mean, what's topic number one for you in the NBA right now? What's at the top of the list?
The thing that's been catching my eye is Golden State.
Golden State.
Golden State's been really holding it down, and I think with with Draymond Green playing how he's playing and really being a stretch forward for Golden State. I mean, he put in work against the Bulls. And
Yes, they did.
Sorry,
Monte.
Yeah,
Sorry, man.
Yeah. They got
Shout
him.
out to our visual engineer, Monte Love, who is a diehard Bulls fan. It's a shaky year for him, but he's hoping for the good stuff. Oh, what up, Jake?
That's the Hammer.
Yeah, the Hammer.
I'm sorry, I had to sit down. Get comfortable with
messing
my people.
everything up.
I know.
Man. Messing everything up. Okay, so
Golden State has been they've been incredible. I mean, they're on like 12 games now.
yeah, looking so.
And
Tell me that stat you told me earlier. What was that?
They've
Splash Brothers?
the Splash Brothers already have hit 110 threes.
Yeah. Ouch.
In 19 games, Splash Brothers 158 for Curry, 52
Wesley,
for
Damian,
Thompson.
Nikola.
Yeah,
Catch up.
Wesley, he got 50.
Nicola,
I think
catch up.
Wesley has 55.
Hey man, be
and Booker has
nice.
56.
Be nice. He's gonna get it there. He's gonna get there.
But Draymond Green, he's shooting 37% from the 3-point line with 36 threes. So you might he's like he's like Capadonna with Wu-Tang. He's in the gang. He's part of Splash Brothers, but he's not really.
He's a quiet role player. He's that unlisted role player.
Kind of looks like Capadonna. But yeah, no, he's a Swiss knife type of player. Great role player, glue guy. I mean, he can create for other players. Like he has the third highest usage rates on that team. So he's gained the rock right now, and he's producing. So they're going to end up having about $26 million of cap space right there on the bench.
Yeah. Because
David Lee's never going to start a game again for Golden State.
No.
And then Andre Iguodala, who's their sixth man. So that's a lot of money on there. So that just shows you how deep this squad is. And they're looking like they can contend.
Speaking of depth, though, Golden State's going to contend, but they've got some other depth in the West they're going to have to contend with. Number 2, Houston, sitting at 16-4. Number 3, Portland, sitting at 16-4 as well. Yeah, we're sitting at number 3. That was my bad. I forgot Memphis took a little tumble. They took 2-game tumble as well. So now they're sitting at 16-4, I think. Yeah, they're sitting at 16-4.
That's us too.
Yeah.
Houston can't mess with Golden State, and I even think Houston can beat Portland, and I don't think Houston can beat San Antonio.
Shut up, Anwar.
Beat San Antonio. I really don't. I'm not really. I mean, Houston has done their thing. I mean, they have a great record right now, but I'm not really a believer.
I'm not buying
in
Houston
that
right
spot,
now.
especially during come playoff time. I don't see them.
They are winning still though.
They are. They got
Dwight Howard.
I mean, same thing with I was looking at the records, and the Clippers have a 15-5 record, but when I watch them, they don't look impressive to me. Like they don't their wings are not good enough. Blake Griffin is shooting a bunch of jump shots.
Yes, he is.
You know, I just don't see them progressing in the Western Conference. I don't see them making the past the second.
They're actually losing
round.
right now as well.
They are.
Yeah, so I like Houston. I think Portland's been one of the most impressive teams. I don't think that anybody can beat San Antonio still.
Is this not what we expected from Portland after last year?
It is.
Like, am I the only one that expected this?
Oh, of course not. As a fan, you expected to see it, but being an observer of professional basketball,
no, it's still the same way. I did
we made some great moves. We have better depth.
With everybody being healthy,
that's been our plague every year is
with
health.
CJ McCollum, which hasn't
early.
really been
it's
a factor.
It's early.
You know what? And health hasn't, since they got that new medical staff, health hasn't been
Out of an issue. Again, knock on some wood.
Out of an issue because, I mean, he used to haunt this franchise for years. And so now that they can actually just play
Brandon
ball.
Roy. B-Roy was probably our last sad cause.
B-Roy, I loved watching B-Roy play.
Yeah, you and me both. I watched, there was an old game on the other day. I think it was the Dallas-Portland playoff game.
Yep.
The saddest thing about B-Roy.
That three-pointer.
And like
that 3-and-1.
In the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that right there is the lasting image of B-Roy in the eyes of Portland fans.
Amen.
But the bad thing about that is
they came back. And
the
they went
sad
to
thing
Minnesota.
about that was the fact that he had surgery and then just came back.
Yeah.
And so they should have never let that kid come back and play. So yeah, he put out a hell of a performance. Like that was
at the time it looked very
amazing.
Heroic.
Oh yeah.
But it was very
But you're looking
stupid.
at the organization like, what the hell are you doing?
A kid that talented who already had knee problems throughout his high school days, college days. Like you gotta fall back a little bit and let that kid heal.
He was our 2-year franchise player, and that's really sad for him because again, that was an amazing talent. Rounding out the West, we got the old folks down in San Antonio. Number 6, the Clips. 7, Dallas, and number 8, Phoenix.
Yeah, but who's
Phoenix? Phoenix. They're still sticking around.
Phoenix, you messed up because they should have started off better because you only have 4 games? 5? Is it 5 games?
Are you talking about who's knocking on the door behind them?
Yes. Who's knocking on the door?
The
who's
dirty
that peeking
sack.
through my window?
Dirty sack. Your boy.
They in the dirty style. There is. Okay.
Boogie.
OKC.
No. Sacramento is only 1 game behind them. OKC is still.
Well, Boogie Cousins been out with meningitis, so that's I think he has like a spinal meningitis.
Anwar's really concerned.
No, I mean Boogie. I mean he's been holding down. He's leading the league in rebounding, 23 points a game, 12 rebounds. He was an MVP candidate. Like him being out, like it's big time.
Do we know how long he's out? Meningitis. What is that? Is that serious?
It is. No, it is. It is. That's what I heard. Boy, Boog broke it down.
Get healthy, Boog. Get healthy. But yeah, OKC sitting at. It's weird to say this. OKC sitting at 7-13, but
they're coming.
They're coming.
You see that dunk?
They're coming.
Everybody's been talking about the dunk. I just seen
our
it
boy
tonight.
Monte showed us all a little dunk from Westbrook.
That was nasty.
That was filthy.
That was sick.
They got a lot of work to do.
They do have work to do, but here's the thing.
They
have so much time to do the work.
I don't know, man.
No, that's a lot of time.
That is a lot of time, but the way these
what's their
teams
record
are
again?
winning,
One more time.
So this was
OKC. They're sitting at 7-13. 8 is 7-8.
You said 7-13.
7-13. 8th place is sitting at 12-9.
What does OKC usually end up with? A little like 50 wins.
50 plus, yeah.
So you're probably looking at like OKC a 6th or 7th.
Yeah, but again, that's OKC in the playoffs.
Having to play a 2 or 3. So we might have to play them.
Yeah,
I think the 1 and 2 seed has to play them.
That's what
because they're the best. OKC is gonna be the better team.
So that's what I'm saying. So OKC is going to be at the bottom of the playoffs.
They are, but
playing a top team where they probably should be at full strength.
So Golden State could have to go Golden State, OKC,
or the Blazers, or the Grizzlies, or the Rockets.
You think the Blazers are going to get number 1 seed in the playoffs?
No, I think they'll be 2 or 3.
Ooh, I would love 2 or 3, but honestly,
it's going to be very hard.
I can say 4 or 5. I still think 4 or 5.
I would love 5.
Yeah, I would love 5. No, you want the 4.
I want the 4. Yeah, so 4.
4.
I would rather have 4.
Who are you going for number 1? And I think
in the West,
I think Golden State could probably. I think it's going to be either Golden State or San Antonio. Or Memphis. I mean, Memphis. I mean, it's a 3.
San Antonio
I feel like it could be easier
to
decide this in the West than it would be the East right now.
So this has been a topic of discussion going around. Mark Cuban's throwing it out there. The fact that with the whole realignment, like what would you think about realigning some of these conferences and getting some of these Western Conference teams
realignment
in the Eastern Conference? I mean, some people were talking.
Some
people were talking about having
top 16 teams.
Top 16?
Top 16 no matter what?
Doesn't matter conference. Top 16.
But the fact is that means you have to change the whole schedule with the teams because like you have only 2 you play each cross conference team twice. And then in your conference you play them 3 to 4 times. Okay. So that changes up your whole record.
3 times.
I think one of the best ones to do would be you can't go to the playoffs unless you're 500, have a 500 record. And if you
Sorry,
do
East
and
Conference.
if you
That's
do
like
have
over half the Eastern Conference would.
There's 2 or 3 you got to cut out.
I mean, it's not too
Two
and
or
those
three?
teams,
Yeah, it's only
those
like
teams
2 or 3.
deserve to not be in the playoffs. So a team
Let's
that
see what
wins
the East right now.
48
Okay,
wins.
excuse me. The East,
And so-
looking at number 6, is the first 500 team. So number 7 is Miami sitting at 9-11. Number 8 is Brooklyn sitting at 8-11.
So they're gone.
Yeah, see,
You
like
take them out.
Wouldn't you rather have a Phoenix be an 8 seed in the
Yes,
East?
I would.
Yeah.
That would
Yes,
be
I would.
crazy.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Like forget you don't deserve to be an 8 seed if you're under
But you
500.
would have to take
And the
away
same-
conferences to do
Yeah.
that.
You wouldn't have the necessary. It would
It'd
just
be
be. It would just
the
be
NBA.
that.
Just
it
the
would be-
NBA.
It would be the only time that rule
No
kicks
divisions,
in.
Wild
no
card.
conferences.
I would
Make it a wild card.
Yeah.
I would
yeah.
say this. The only time that rule comes into play is if a team falls behind 500, and then whoever is the next best team, they get that playoff spot. So a team like Phoenix, who won 49 games and didn't get in the playoffs, they would take that slot.
Yeah, but to justify
other than that,
I'm saying call it a wild card.
Yeah, call it a wild card.
Yeah, just because that would be people would understand that.
Call it you didn't get your done.
Yeah.
You didn't get it done. When
You didn't
should
get it
have.
done. Get out.
Yeah. Kick rocks.
The Kick Rocks playoff structure.
I like it.
I like that too. Top
Anwar's
16
Keep
ain't in
'em
it.
low.
Kick
Yeah,
Rocks.
keep them low. Keep them low.
Which you can check out this week. This dude right here will be updating them starting this week and subsequently afterwards at www.rosecitysportstalk.com. You can check out this week's episode, past episodes, different clips and picks, and all kinds of other links, including links to the producers that are scoring each episode, who are locals.
You want my top 5 real quick?
Top 5 NBA?
Top
yeah,
five,
yeah,
top
yeah. Let's
five.
hear it. The keep them low.
I can give them. Or should I go 10? You make
No.
Go
Let's
10.
hear the 5. Let's hear the 5.
Okay. I keep them low.
Keep it low.
But, yeah,
Keep it lower.
Like I always, San Antonio, number 1. They're number 1. I'm not taking San Antonio.
So, since this is the first time that you're getting the experience of the keep it low rankings,
I'm
Anwar,
never doubting San Antonio.
let the
a day
viewers
in my
know.
life.
Let the viewers know how you structure the keep them low rankings.
Hey, you can agree to disagree.
Oh, they gonna disagree.
But the fact of the matter is, I have been a doubter of San Antonio for years. I'm not doubting them anymore.
No, I'm saying how in the
so
keep
I'm
'em
doing
low
these.
rankings.
I'm breaking it down. So
All right,
I'm doing
break it
these
down, break it down.
rankings. They will not go below number 1 in my book all year until I really think that a team can beat them in a 7-game series. So that's what I'm going. That's what I'm going with. So San Antonio is number 1, and they have a record that's justifiably number 1.
Okay.
They did smack up Golden State when they played them.
Yep.
So, and that's number 2. So San Antonio's number 1. Golden
right.
State's number 2.
What do we got at number 3? Make us
Number,
happy. Make
number
us
3,
happy.
we got Memphis.
Oh, get out
'Cause
of
I'm
here.
still going with. I'm still going with that grindhouse.
I'll take it.
Number 4, you guys
Bias.
getting all upset. I do have Portland right here at
Oh, you
number
can
4.
show- he shows me he
So,
wants to know. It was,
you know,
it was
like,
he's
it
not
was-
just pulling that out of his
It was
ass.
written.
It was written definitely in his phone.
Yeah, so 4.
Shout out to
And
Portland
then,
making the top 5 in Anwar's keep 'em low rankings.
out of respect, because they've been putting in work, Toronto in the East.
All right.
Still got, I know DeMar DeRozan still hurt.
I mean, is that really any surprise that Toronto's in there? They're sitting at
Still-
16-5.
They are. But people are creeping up on them. Cleveland is playing a lot better. So
Cleveland's creeping, but I want to talk about these just a little bit more because it's pretty exciting. Let's talk about the top 3 teams in the East at this moment because this is not something that you would expect.
I know.
And I love it.
I know where you're going. I know
love
where
it.
you're going.
Number 1 in the East, Toronto.
Yeah.
Number 2 in the East, Atlanta. And number 3 in the East,
I knew that's where you was going.
Washington.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
And I hated on Atlanta in the when we did the NBA preview. I was like, we barely even spoke on Atlanta because
That's true.
Hey,
We
but,
really did not touch on that.
The fact of the matter is they have Al Horford and Paul Millsap, two great front court players, all-star players right there. You got Jeff Teague that's putting in work this year. Kyle Korver shooting 55% from the 3-point line, shooting 3 a game. That's legit. You go.
I can say all 3 of these teams, when you're tuning in and watching any of these teams play, it's like watching a college game. There's a lot. I mean, it's sloppy. There's some things that need to be cleaned up, but they are fun.
Atlanta has
The
great
energy.
ball movement.
Yeah,
And they've adopted the San Antonio philosophy. They have a former assistant coach from San Antonio.
Yep.
Like 19 years he was with them, so he's instituting that philosophy over there, and it's working. San Antonio way works. That's why they're number one. They keep them low power rankings. But I digress. Washington. They're pretty
16-4.
They're pretty legit. And John Wall and Bradley Beal are putting in work. Ever since Bradley Beal has came back into the lineup, it's solidified that backcourt.
I agree.
Solidified that unit as a whole. And I mean,
how scary would this unit be with Kevin Durant?
Oof! Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You know what? I love the hypothetical.
I want to see it. I want to see it.
But right now, he
didn't come to Portland, so if we can't have him, send him as far east as you can.
I kind of like. I want to see one more year with
Westbrook.
Yeah. I want to see it because the way Westbrook's been attacking the basket and just been ferocious with those dunks. Like I want to see them kind of do it, win a championship. And if they don't do it, Washington, you getting the hometown kid.
All right, last topic on the NBA. I'm gonna throw out a name, just one name, and I would love to hear your response. Rajon Rondo.
Oh. Had a little breakfast party. I like that. Go to places like Gravy in Portland. I love Gravy. Their French toast is off the chain.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, it is. I know you feel me. But yeah, I like that. I would love to have Rondo in LA. That's the perfect. Like you can hand the reins over to Rondo. He can be my franchise player. Because I mean, that dude.
He could be your franchise player.
He could, man. He's a grimy type of guy.
What happens to the other franchise player?
Kobe's on there, of course. But I'm saying going forward because Kobe doesn't have. He has one, maybe two more years.
You really think Rondo can hold a franchise player role?
Yes, because he makes everybody on the court better.
He demands
the best from everybody. He also plays defense. Look what he did for the Boston teams when they were really contending.
Keep going. Let's hear it.
And like Kobe said, any guy that 20 points and 18 rebounds, 17, you get 17 assists, 18 rebound games. Like I've seen Rondo outplay every point guard in the league, from Derrick Rose to Tony Parker, and just from his hustle, from his defense, from the way he gets everybody involved, his competitiveness.
Okay,
like he
so
never
how
wants
is
to leave.
this point guard any different, aside from age, than when they said we're going to bring in Steve Nash and he's going to be the
Steve
facilitator?
Nash was broken down when we got him, and Damian Lillard broke his leg, and he's never been the same. Got that messed up nerve issue that he's had. It was a fluke injury. I mean, Steve Nash tried to get back, and he hurt himself lifting bags.
You gotta give a shout out to Damian Lillard.
No, I'm not giving a shout out for the Lakers wasting 3 first-round picks on Steve Nash, so he can do some documentary about him, about his struggle.
Rondo went scoreless tonight.
Say what?
Scoreless.
But how many rebounds did he have?
I think it was 5.
How many assists?
2. Let me get back to it.
Come on, Rondo. Rondo's a monster, though.
He had 2 rebounds, wow, 4 assists, and 3 personal fouls. He also went 0 for 3 from the field.
But you know,
Rajon Rondo.
He did
Send
just
him
have,
to LA.
He did just have a triple-double 2 games ago.
Send him to LA, Anwar. You're going to be golden.
Somebody has one breakfast, and you all start talking about stuff.
Okay.
I like it, man.
Maybe
They
it was just 2
like-minded.
dudes
They
wanting to have
like-minded
breakfast together.
individuals.
Speaking of 2 dudes,
Break
here's
some
the
bread.
last topic for NBA.
Come on, Rondo.
Speaking of 2
come
dudes,
on.
who is more consistently impressive this early in the season?
I'm intrigued. I'm waiting.
Aldridge. Sorry, go on.
Aldridge or Anthony Davis?
Ooh. Those are 2 2 players. By the way, shout out to Aldridge, who was Western Conference Player of the Week.
He was. Shout out to LaMarcus Aldridge.
At the same
he
time,
was named
I'm waiting to see.
No, I can't.
I want to know.
Anthony Davis is playing out of his mind as well, so it's hard to put one above the other. I'm
asking you folks to decide right now.
I misspoke last week because I said LaMarcus Aldridge is the best power forward in the league.
Did. Yes, you
Anthony
did.
Davis.
But you didn't misspeak.
Whoa.
Anthony Davis is the
You're
best
already
power
going to
forward.
crown Anthony Davis over this?
No.
This hasn't been. I mean,
Don't sit there and ponder it.
Aldridge
Don't
has
sit
been
there
doing
and
this
think
for
about
3
like,
years.
I'm not pondering.
We're 21
pondering-
games in the season.
I'm
Yeah,
not
let's
pondering
crown
anything.
him. Let's crown him.
LaMarcus Aldridge, hands down, best offensive power forward in the league. If I can run my offense through anybody, and I said that last week, LaMarcus Aldridge will be the guy.
Okay, so it's altered just in terms of the offensive
hands
spectrum.
down. But as an all-around player, I can't take anybody over Anthony Davis.
Explain why Anthony Davis is better than Aldridge.
He's first of all, I said LaMarcus Aldridge is a better offensive player. Anthony Davis averaging 25 points a game. LaMarcus Aldridge has never done that. 2, he's averaging crazy amount of rebounds. I think it's 11.8 rebounds.
Yeah.
It's a monster on the glass. Another one, he anchors your defense. He's getting 3+ blocks a game. So he's holding that aspect down.
Just under 3 blocks a game.
2.9. he was over, but now he did that. And then another one, he's in the top 5 in steals too. The only big men that do that is David Robinson and Hakeem Olajuwon, Hall of Fame players. So Davis is he's putting up crazy numbers right now.
You have to remember that this is his second year.
Third year. And
you have to sustain this. There's once you start playing like this, film comes out. Teams adjust. Aldridge has been doing this in the last 3 years, and he's been in the league
and 7-8
years.
Who's adjusting to Anthony Davis? How can you adjust to Anthony Davis?
Well, you can adjust to Anthony Davis. We did.
Yeah.
When we played him, we took him out of the fourth quarter.
Well, but he'd already put up 31, 11, and something
He's
or
had
other.
some
He'd
bad
already
games.
done some serious work on us.
He had a 14-point outing against
I'm not
Sacramento.
trying to say Anthony Davis is not a good player. I just want to see a more sustained.
I feel you on that aspect, but I mean, where he's at right now in his career,
he does look good, and that's why I brought it up. I'm a big fan of LaMarcus Aldridge.
His defense is amazing.
But watching his game, those two on both, as Anwar is saying, on both sides of the ball, you are seeing, a clinic from both of these guys.
If he had a better roster to support him, they'd be up in the top of the league.
So is that why he sits higher on the MVP, let's say, ballot, because he really is more the valuable franchise, whereas Aldridge, who is nothing away from Aldridge, amazing player, but he has a lot of talent around him right now.
LaMarcus Aldridge would have a better shot of winning the MVP over Davis because Portland is one of the better teams in the league. They're top 3 in the West, so he can get that award. But if Anthony Davis doesn't, if New Orleans the Pelicans don't make it so hard to say that the Pelicans don't make it to the playoffs, Anthony Davis's MVP chances go out the window. You can't give it to a player.
So you're saying if Pelicans walk in, let's say, an 7 or 8 spot, you think he deserves?
I still don't even know.
And the numbers sustained. And the numbers sustained.
The one, if you remember back when Kobe had that crazy season when he was getting over.
Are we talking a positive crazy season or a negative?
I'm talking about when you had a month where you averaged over 40 points in February. Like he killed the league that year. It was the highest scoring average in a season since Jordan back in the 80s. Destroyed the league, but he didn't get the MVP. He got it over Steve Nash got him. But he took Kobe had.
That's because Steve Nash.
Kobe had Smush Parker, and Luke Walton, Slava Medvedenko. Yeah. These guys are in the starting lineup for them. He took them to the playoffs.
He did.
So that he deserved to win the MVP on that. But they didn't give it to him. So if you go under that criteria, Anthony Davis, no matter what his numbers are, he has the highest PER ever of any player right now. If he continues that up, he still can't get the MVP because if he doesn't go to the playoffs, or an AC because they always put winning and individual performances in the
and that kind of makes sense. I mean,
but
he
right now
is the most valuable player to his team.
Who's better than him right now in the league?
So we're 20 plus games in. Anwar, I want to know who, now that we've seen some different lineups, different chemistries, coaches trying different things, different schemes and whatnot, who was the best and the worst off-season acquisition in the NBA?
I know the worst right off the
Let's hear it. Who's the worst?
Lance Stevenson.
Yeah, he got paid. he got paid some money to
That
sit
guy's
on
a
the
bum.
bench.
I hate that guy. That guy's a
Lance
bum anyway.
Stevenson, man, he's looking
I love what the
rough
coach
right
said.
now.
I love what the coach said. He's like, you're not all-star status. That's why you're coming off the bench.
I mean,
you love
he's looked bad. He seems to ruin the whole chemistry of that team of the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, we expected big things for them coming into the season.
I'm not saying
and
this guy isn't
I
talented.
hadn't seen it.
I'm not saying he doesn't have potential, but my respect for this guy.
I'm just saying he's a buster.
Yeah, he's a buster, and that's only because my respect went out the door when he started playing those little child games.
I'ma blow in your face.
Yeah, last year. Yeah,
He cost himself a lot
a
of money.
respect. No, not just money, just
Money,
respect
yeah,
in general.
money,
what are
power,
you
respect.
doing?
He cost himself some money too.
Yeah,
that's-
money.
I mean,
Obviously,
that-
that's what
that
he's
hurt his-
feeling.
that
But at
hurt
the
his
same
pockets.
time, respect-wise, what the like? Come on, man. You in the playoffs?
It was-
sitting there.
It was bad.
Blowing in LeBron's ear like that. Come on.
Yeah, it was
Pinching
embarrassing.
people.
It was embarrassing.
It was
really
awkward.
embarrassing.
It was
Yeah.
awkward. I'm sorry. You never see that in the
The
NBA.
blowing in the ear. You're like,
Or-
it was funny, but you're laughing at it like, damn, that's what you're gonna do right now.
I was laughing like, is this really going on?
Yeah, like
is
you-
somebody
like you
actually
see, and that-
doing this?
It's like the
And he
Jason
actually got a
Kidd water
chuckle
on
from
the
LeBron.
floor.
Was like, he had that. Like, are
joke.
you?
Is
like,
this
are
what
you really
basketball
killing
is
me?
nowadays? People blowing in people's ears?
Yeah. The pickup. I think the pickup of the year though has been.
So hold on.
go ahead,
Recap.
Go ahead.
Off-season bust for
Lance
sure.
Stevenson.
We all agree. Lance Stevenson bust. All right. So
And the honorable mention for that.
Okay, yeah, I'm
Honorable
with it.
mention would be Jeremy Lin.
you're
Jeremy-
just saying that because of
Jeremy Lin.
This is a bias right here. This is a biased point of view. Jeremy Lin is not the second biggest bust of the year.
You brought him in. You had a substantial hole, a crater at the point guard position.
And you thought Jeremy Lin was
Lin
going to come
was
in and
supposed to
fill it
fill in
on
that.
both the points and the.
That's your,
Phil.
that's your own fault, right?
Feel something. My other team, Jose Calderon. That's another bad one. That trade is right now. The Phil Jackson, the Zen Master. And like, I love you, Phil. I defend you all the time.
you, Phil.
I love you, Phil.
But Tyson Chandler for Jose Calderon, Shane Larkin, and what turned out to be Cleanthony
Yeah.
Early is looking like a very bad deal right now.
Okay.
that's
So we've
my
got our
honorable
off-season
mention. My
bust and the
bias.
secondary off-season bust. Who is the positive story from the off-season?
And it just so happens he takes from my team, my other team, the Lakers,
Please tell me.
and goes to Chicago. Pau Gasol. He's been putting in work over there in the Bulls. 19 and 10.
He is
he's
putting in,
He's
yeah,
averaging right now.
work.
And he's finally like his career is rejuvenated for a couple simple facts. One is that
He's not having to do as much?
no, he's in his comfort zone. He's down on the block. He
Yeah.
doesn't have D'Antoni having him shoot threes. So that's one. And then two, he's in another chance where he can fight for a finals ring, for another championship. You got those guys backing you up. You're on a contending team, and he's thriving right now. He
Okay.
looks good. It looks like old
can agree with
school
that.
Pau Gasol. So that was
Let me throw this out there as a semi-counter.
pickup.
I agree, but let me throw this out maybe as a semi-counter.
Who you got?
You threw out one player. I'm gonna cheat a little bit because it's my show. I can do that. I'm gonna throw out two players, both coming from your town as well.
okay.
Chris Kaman and Steve Blake for the Portland
man,
Trailblazers.
Former Lakers.
Yeah, Chris
bad, man.
Kaman and Steve Blake for the Portland Trailblazers have been such a positive pickup. Such a positive pickup, both on the offensive and defensive, and let's be honest, off the court as well. These are great guys to have with your organization.
It is, and they've been great. And Chris Kaman's beard fits right into Portland. You know, it's been a seamless transition. But all bias aside, like Chris Kaman and Steve Blake, that can't be the best off-season acquisition
I'm happy with
of
it.
the league.
I'm
It
happy
was
with
great
it.
for Portland.
And so is most of Portland.
It was
What do you-
great,
so-
I
I made a little counter. I said I agree with his Pau Gasol, the best offseason acquisition, but I said I'd love to do a semi counter and say, you know what, I'm gonna cheat a wee bit and throw out two players together also that came from LA, since LA just decided to dump anything with talent. And I said Portland was fortunate enough to pick up Kamen and Blake.
Yeah.
And watching those two on the floor together, you get to see that chemistry.
That's great chemistry.
That pick and pop, it works. And not just that, if it's not working, there's patience. And you're seeing it from both of them on both sides of the ball. And that's translating to the other bench players. And that's why this depth from Portland is just, I'm giddy.
So,
I mean, that was just it's almost like a shameless plug.
I'm sorry. But come on. Does that not hold any weight? I agree with Powell, but at the same time, Powell is old.
I mean,
Can you not say Powell's old?
Trevor Ariza for Houston.
Yeah.
Pau Gasol doesn't look old right now. Pau Gasol looks like a beast.
But will Pau
And I
Gasol
would
be
say-
able to do this for 82 games?
Yes, because he's chilling over there playing 30 minutes a game. He doesn't have
30
to.
is still a lot
He doesn't
on a
have to carry.
32.
He doesn't have to carry that
he's
team.
He's got some
When have
age.
you seen Pau Gasol get hurt consistently? He's been a healthy player. He's a doctor.
Monty's over there knocking
knows
on
what-
wood
he
right
knows what
now.
to do.
He's like, my Bulls cannot afford that injury right there.
You can't afford it because you got Gibson and
You can't afford it.
You got Gibson and Rodich and Noah backing them up. Like they have depth over there, so they're fine. That's why they can play them 30 minutes a game.
Chicago is sitting at 12-8, only 3.5 games back in the East, and they're just kind of starting to work things out.
Derrick Rose is continuing to play. I like it.
Again, we're not going to get too much into Rose
Jimmy
because we're
Butler's-
afraid of jinxing the man.
We're not talking about that. We're just anymore. So, but Jimmy Butler's still continuing
Jimmy
on.
Butler's still doing work.
They're
It's
solid
been a
squad.
lot of fun.
And Cleveland, Cleveland's looking good. That 37 that Kyrie Irving put on
Put
New
up.
York was impressive.
And you didn't hear LeBron after
Madison
the
Square
game
Garden, the Mecca.
talking shit about.
Can I just ask you?
Yeah.
Can I just ask you one thing? I just need to get this.
I might
out
not
there.
answer it, but you can.
Because
ask.
I got in a crazy conversation on the weekend.
Oh, good. Let's have it here.
About the Mecca. So
right.
when you think of the Mecca of basketball, what do you think of? What arena do you think of?
The Garden.
The Garden.
Yeah.
And I like how easily you guys said that. It just rolled off the tongue, right?
Yeah.
It's the Mecca of
Because
basketball.
how many historical performances from countless players that roll into the Garden, which is like a
preach.
theater, which Staples tries to copy in terms of the very dark lit seating and well lit floor, which I love. But
Yeah.
the Garden is it's its
a
own.
Yeah, it is.
Garden do that
And even in
first?
college.
Oh yeah.
In college games, you've seen all those Big East
Yep.
title games and everything. Like it's been
Man,
crazy. It's the
rest
Garden.
in peace, the Big East.
It's the Garden. And Clifton Matthews, not mentioning any names, keeps on always saying that it doesn't matter. We don't have a Mecca. Chicago can be considered
matters.
a Mecca
matters.
because they have the best players right now. They get the best talent and everything. I'm like, no. There is something about when you go to Madison Square Garden and on the biggest stage, you put up a performance. We remember Kobe dropping that 60 in the 61.
It doesn't
in the
matter.
Garden.
You could literally
We remember
list
when
off dozens of players that is just an igniter, man. You're
the
in
double
the Garden.
nickel game.
Yeah.
We know the double nickel.
You're in the Garden.
You got Spike sitting courtside.
Yeah.
You got
the Reggie Miller game.
Ah, that's so good.
That my favorite player back in the day, LJ,
Yep.
Larry Johnson,
Yep.
that back in the day. Like the Garden has countless memories there, and it's just like something about those when it's in the fourth quarter in those games. The crowd gets into it. They got great fans. Just the atmosphere that it creates in the Garden is second to none. So I'm glad you guys agree.
I agree, and I don't think there's even a close second in terms of.
I just want to put a poll out or something. Just
No.
I want to know what the
That-
people.
I
I
feel
want to know
like
what
that
y'all
was a-
think, man. Is Madison
Monty,
Square
what do
Garden
you
the
got?
Mecca?
Monty,
I know Monty thinks
hold up.
Chicago. He's holding up Chicago. Who's the Mecca, y'all? Is it
And you talk
New
about
York, Madison
sports
Square
arenas.
Garden?
I really don't think you can compete with Madison Square Garden.
We can put up. What about the Boston Garden? We
No, get
we
out
have
of
to put
here.
the Boston Garden in the
Nope.
Forum.
Nope.
I think you'd have to put Boston on it for
No.
sure.
They have
Okay,
the most
let's-
championships.
Just like
let's
you're gonna
roll a
have to
poll.
put
We're gonna
LA
roll a
on
poll.
it.
We want to hear what you think.
Let's go.
Head over to RoseCitySportsTalk.com or hit us up on Twitter at RoseCitySportsTalk. No vowels.
Yeah.
And let us know what your favorite sports arena is. What
Let's
you
go.
consider
NBA, right? NBA?
the NBA top, as Anwar would call it, the NBA's Mecca
The
in terms
Mecca.
of arenas.
Where's the Mecca of basketball? Let us know, cause I know where it's at. Some other people don't know. We want to know what you feel, but
Hit us up.
it's the Mecca.
All right, let's slide over to the last
That's
topic.
one of many polls, too, by the way.
Yeah, many polls.
Let the people
for sure.
know.
And we want to hear people's opinion on your Keep 'em Low rankings because those are just whack.
Keep them low.
Shoot.
opinions
I want to
down,
hear
though.
lots of arguments on RoastCitySportsTalk.com of like fans
I like
sending
getting
in video
flack, too,
blogs
right?
of basically arguments. I want to see it. It's going to come.
Somehow I became a San Antonio defender.
Okay, so NFL, we had another crazy
Spurs.
week that
Came
pushed
back in.
a lot of different pictures in terms of NFC and AFC. You got to see, well, tonight, actually, after a last push from Atlanta, Green Bay comes out on top, 43-37 over Atlanta, which actually
Dang, man.
no one saw. I know I ruined
You
that
do
for
this to
you
me
every week.
Like Portland, I tape games, so don't ever tweet me or any message, text.
We just
about
told
the
you
game,
to
'cause I
interact,
don't
and
wanna know.
Anwar's like, "Don't hit me up. Do
Just
not
not
hit
for
me
the
up."
score. Just don't tell me the score, because I tape all these games. It's not on
Well,
Monday Night Football.
I'm about to tell you how much Julio Jones just balled out.
Yeah. Let's hear
Let
that
us know
200
that.
plus.
Let us
guy.
He
know
had 11 receptions, 259 yards. Everybody.
How many
in the
touchdowns?
NFL.
259, just one touchdown. But
259
that
yards?
does not matter. 259 yards
Hammer-
on just 11 receptions.
Hammer Jake. I don't know what the number one receiving record of all time is. It was
For-
Calvin Johnson
For Monday night?
No, just in history.
Ooh, that's for a single game.
Let us know. Let us know that. Let
I'll
us
get it
know.
right now.
Single
Hold on.
game reception history.
I
I think it's Calvin Johnson, and I think it was.
I think it was Calvin.
last year or the year before.
I think it was a couple years ago, but let's
So while Jake's digging
facts
into that,
only.
yeah, let's
on
check
Rose
out
City Sports
where things are sitting
What's
because we
going
actually
on now?
saw a couple losses this week that might have thrown a few people. Let's start up at the top since we are in the Pacific Northwest, and I suppose we are all quietly in some way or outwardly Seahawks fans. No, not really. I'm a Niners fan. But the Seahawks did come away with a big victory over the Philadelphia Eagles. I honestly thought Philly was going to show up for this. Yes.
I did. I was excited about that game. Going
yeah.
into it, I got my beer. I got my beer ready for that one. I was drinking on some Worthy IPA.
Okay.
I tried it.
Okay.
Another local beer. So that's how we do. Keep it local. Keep the love going.
That's what's up.
But pop that open, and then I saw a game that just wasn't that exciting because Philadelphia's offense was non-existent. There was what the lineman from Seattle was talking about. Mark Sanchez was impersonating a good QB.
Oh,
like they had nothing going in that game, and it's right now. Seattle looks like the team that won the Super Bowl.
I like this.
Yeah, that beat goes hard.
I like this.
I was
What
just
up,
like-
Trey? What up, Trey?
Yo, producers, we love good music. Keep it going.
That's right.
So it was Calvin Johnson with
was Calvin?
329 yards. That was in October 27, 2013. They have on here a
Say
flipper.
that again. Say that number again.
Yeah.
329 yards.
How many catches?
I don't have that. I just have the yardage.
Yeah, I'll take the
Let's
yardage.
go further back. Let's go further back because
I do have a Flipper Anderson in here.
yeah,
for
Flipper
300.
Anderson, I remember from
336 yards
336.
and
From the
19.
Rams.
That's deep.
But
What is
that's
that,
an 89, yeah.
What do you mean?
From the Rams, right?
That's still history.
Flipper
Yeah,
Anderson.
that's
I used to
true.
collect cards. I remember having
Rams
a couple
versus
Flipper
Saints.
Anderson.
Yeah,
Flipper
remember
Anderson.
Beckett's back in the
Yeah,
day?
Beckett's.
Yeah, we used to flip cards all the time, man. Get that preschool money, man. Need some good candy. I need
So
Skittles.
the other loss this week that I gotta touch on because it's flipping heartbreaking is how do the Niners lose
Yo.
to the Raiders?
Did you see her, bro, on the interview?
Yo.
Post-game interview?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I turned it off.
He does
Yo,
not look
Cat-
good.
Cat's looking kind of hurt right
He
now.
looks real butthurt right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
You got problems.
yeah, I know I got problems.
I just made a
San
bet.
Francisco fans, what? I mean, what do you even say? Honestly, everyone's like, Harbaugh this or Cap that.
No, you got a Cap problem.
It's Cap.
There's no
It's
excuse.
Cap.
There's no excuse for
Dude needs to read the
for
field.
losing for the Raiders, but
That's just
I mean,
it. He can't read.
And
That's what I'm saying.
And Bryce,
You just lost to a 1-11 team.
Yeah, that's not good.
My man.
You play Seattle next week.
I'm aware.
I'm
aware.
We talked about.
That's why I
this.
needed Philly to beat Seattle.
To our Rose City Sports Talk fans from the get-go, I told this man earlier in the season that your team, they were dysfunctional. Harbaugh was about to get fired over the offseason. They weren't going to make it to the playoffs. And they're falling apart in the front of our eyes. And this was the tipping point. You lose to Oakland.
Oh man.
Oakland. Gee, it's a wrap for them. Kaepernick, you can't give up on him. He has He has a cannon for an arm.
Well, he's athletic as
crazy
hell.
fast.
He's
you
got
got to
the
find a way to
potential.
utilize him
You're
back.
just not seeing him read the field, and you're also not seeing him use his legs.
And that's what makes Kaepernick stand out. So he
You
looks
gotta call plays
he
for
looks
him.
like a modern day Randall Cunningham.
Hey, so while we're
So
talking,
you got to use him, utilize those legs. Don't put him in the pocket and waste it. Let him make plays. But it's a wrap.
yeah, it is a wrap. After that loss, and then
It's a
Seattle
wrap.
beating Philly.
And Arizona pulling out a tough win against the Chiefs. So that all but seals the deal for you guys.
We could talk
And a
NFC West all
new
day.
coach.
'Cause it's been crazy.
Hey,
but
you guys show up this weekend. You might got something to say.
I mean,
but-
yes. San Francisco.
I don't
show up
see
this
it.
weekend. Let's see a
Are
crazy
they-
turnaround
are they, what,
up in
7
Seattle.
and-
But
By the way, I got
7
2
and
tickets
5?
for that game for $500. Anybody wants them?
Heyo.
Now he's over here.
Hit us up.
Yeah.
Every day.
The
you
Hammer is
hustle.
pushing tickets.
If you want them.
That's the Hammer. Only the
take
Hammer
'em.
can do this.
My birthday's on Thursday. I might just take
Yo,
those.
he
Oh,
needs
there
that
you go.
paper to do.
Yeah, That's right. All right.
The
So
Hammer.
before we call it for the evening, let's look at both the NFC and the AFC and its leaders. So. Actually, you know what? I just took a kicking and a beat down talking about my team. Let's talk about Anwar's. Let's talk about
man.
Anwar's
Why you
Chicago
gotta do- I
Bears.
got-
Why
I
would
thought
we
we
talk
escaped.
about a team that's irrelevant?
Because
You know
I
what?
really
You know what?
the first week
Let's
all
talk about
year.
the
No,
Minnesota
I want to
Vikings.
talk about this because this is the first year all year. First week all year, I genuinely was rooting for the Bears.
That one hurt.
I wanted to
because-
see them beat the Cowboys so
So
badly.
this is what happened.
But no.
Another game. I'm rushing through traffic to see my Bears, trying to get to the bar so I can drink some beer. I just had a stout and I want to plug it, but it was like 11.8%
Beastly.
stout.
Woo-wee.
Made me feel good, feel great.
Where were you at?
And
Where were you at?
I was at the Tin Bucket
Okay.
in North Portland.
Yep.
That's a dope spot to
I've never
watch
been
to watch them
sports?
games.
That's what's up.
Low key, like it's nice, and you can go to Stupid Burger. It's a cart. Stupid Burger is so good. Like it has like a burger that has. It's a double cheeseburger with egg, with bacon,
sold.
a hot sausage link.
You said-
Stupid Burger is
It's like
crazy.
the farm burger
Stupid
from
Burger?
Killer Burger.
And that's
Yeah.
in North Portland?
Yeah, North Portland. It's right
Check
by
that
like
out.
that New Seasons. It's a little
Okay.
cart, and
Okay.
Portland, we love our carts. So anytime you can send us like a good place to get some good food, we're about that life, Portland. We love our food. We love our beer. Let it be known, Tin Bucket has good beer too. But I digress. They got me wrapped into the game because Cutler, like, we got an onside kick. We're coming in.
Every time
we're
you
marching.
use his name, it just makes me laugh because I know how much you enjoy Cutler.
We're marching down, and he just throws the dumbest pick in the end zone.
He always throws the dumbest pick.
Since he's been here, and I'm just gonna throw out a number. He's probably been here for about 5-6 years now. I think I've seen him throw at least 20 picks in the end zone.
Probably.
And 20 picks in the end zone, that's like 20 games lost. You don't throw picks in the end zone. That's points off the board.
Hey, shout out to my Vikings who are actually winning.
And I
Definitely shout out to your Vikings who are actually winning.
give me Bridgewater for Cutler. Can I? I'll
can't
throw in a
have
first
him.
round
You can't
pick.
have him.
All right. Well, that's going to do it here for us at Rose City Sports Talk. As always, I'm the host, Bryce Trost, sitting along my dude, Anwar Jones.
Let me
we do.
get one thing in
Keep
here.
'em low.
I just want to say shout out to Stuart Scott, who's battling some cancer. And if you guys are like me, when we were in high school, junior high, I fell asleep to Sports Center.
I did it.
So
Definitely.
Stuart Scott, get well soon, man.
Yeah, he's the man.
For sure. Positive vibes, nothing but.
Check out his ESPY speech too. That was incredible.
Definitely.
He's on some Jimmy V film.
That is it, some Jimmy V tip. All right, again, a special thanks to our audio and visual engineers, Jacob Hummel and Monte Love. Special thanks to our scoring producers, Trey 5. You can check them out at rosecitysportstalk.com as well as SoundCloud.
Give us those beats.
From Greenluck Media Group here in Portland, Oregon, it's been Rose City Sports Talk.
This is how we do.
Good night.
You make my day.